the Panthers now have traded Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. The Panthers get a second, a third, a fourth rounder in 2023, and a fifth rounder in 2024. Boys, who won this trade?
With the Panthers, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The Panthers, without a doubt. It's hard to trust Christian McCaffrey to stay healthy. We all know that. When he is healthy, he's very dynamic. But we all know the NFL stands for not for long, especially at the running back position. And we've seen him battle these injuries, and they haven't been nicks and cuts and bruises. These have been Carson Wentz DEFCON 4 level injuries, and it always seems like there's a groin or there's a hammy or there's something that goes on with McCaffrey. But if you're the Panthers and you're looking around right now and it's doom and gloom, you got to have P.J. Walker starting another game. Baker Mayfield hasn't worked out. Sam Darnold's been injured and hasn't really worked out when he's been in there. You get a second round, third round, fourth round pick in the same draft. That's huge. So to me, this is the Niners going all in, which I've got no problem with. It's about gambles, right? Life's about gambles. Scared money don't make no money. But Christian McCaffrey, once you check the Carfax on Christian McCaffrey, you're like, wow, you know, this car looks great when you put it on the lot, but I didn't know it had a door ripped off. Both the headlights have had to be replaced. The transmission barely works. The alternator's been fixed. And hell, they haven't rotated the tires in 7 years. Like, it just, to me, in the long term, when I look at what the Panthers are trying to do, will Steve Wilkes be the guy that gets the head job there? I don't think he will. I think they're going to bring in somebody from the outside. But this is a daggum good start. And if you're the Niners, it better pay off quickly.
Yes.
Because the amount of time you're going to have Christian McCaffrey being able to operate at this pace, nobody knows. And with Trey Lance, is this something to really help Trey Lance out in the run game, give him some easier throws, some modified runs to McCaffrey out of the backfield? Are you using McCaffrey as a decoy? Or is this saying, we know Jimmy G isn't super dynamic. We want to put dynamic guys around him. Now we have somebody to spell Brandon Ayuk. We have somebody to spell Deebo Samuel. Now Deebo doesn't have to line up in the backfield anymore. We can use him just out at the slot. So I think in the long term, the Panthers won this trade. I
agree. And I've been such a Christian McCaffrey fan since he came into the league. We know he's electric out of the backfield and can catch passes, but him being able to run between the tackles has impressed me as a pro.
Yeah.
But since that 2019 season, when he became one of only 3 NFL running backs in history to rush for over 1,000 yards and receive for over 1,000 yards, he hasn't combined for over 1,000 yards in rushing or receiving the past 2 seasons. But those injuries are clearly baked into the 49ers. It's not like we know something that the 49ers don't know, and yet they still gave up this much for him. So maybe they're thinking, look, the 49ers, I think even without Christian McCaffrey, were already a playoff contender. Maybe they're thinking in this first year of the trade, or maybe even next year, if they can find a way to get themselves into the playoffs, maybe Christian McCaffrey can be that piece who makes a play here or there. Because if they win one Super Bowl, the trade's worth it for the 49ers. Look what the Rams did
without a doubt.
Across the state.
That's a great
Rams
example.
bring in Matt Stafford. If they don't win another Super Bowl with Matt Stafford, that trade was worth it. I'll tell you why, it would have made more sense to me for the Bills, a team like the Bills, where you're already solidified at quarterback. You brought in Von Miller on the defense. Your wide receiver core is already top tier. It would have made more sense for the Bills to give up this much rather than a 49ers team who's already had a bunch of injuries. Like, if the Trey Lance experiment was working, you went with him, he stayed healthy, and he's balling out. Bosa was healthy. The defense is everything that we thought they were going to be. Then you could take a flyer on a guy with a bunch of injuries. It seems weird they would bring in a guy with who's injury prone to a team that's already depleted with injuries. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, it's a gamble to me. Blaine, I know you got some very interesting thoughts on this trade.
Do you know that?
I'm going to guess.
The thing about the 49ers, the 49ers are always banged up early. That's who they are. I mean, but they always get healthy late. That's why people are surprised when you see a 49ers team like in the NFC Championship game with a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. So right now, just think about the 49ers. One, you have one of the best defenses in the league. A healthy defense. You have
Fred Warner's one of my favorite players.
you got Bosa up front. Let's switch that to the offense. You got Deebo Samuel. You got Brandon Ayuk. Hell, you got George Kittle. You just add Christian McCaffrey. Jeff Wilson Jr. is a good player. I know Jimmy G's not the flashiest guy. I know Jimmy G. No one really gets excited seeing Jimmy G. I mean, unless you're a chick. But he can get you where you need to be. He won't lose you the game most of the time. Hell, you made it to the NFC Championship. He didn't throw a touchdown pass in the playoffs. They're doing what the Rams do. I don't really think the Panthers will find a way to mess this up. They will. They will find a way to mess this up. The 49ers right now are pushing all their chips in. I get it. I still don't think they win it this year. They have to get healthy, and they need to get healthy for somewhat a little bit before the end of the season, at least to give themselves a chance. But Christian McCaffrey, great get. I mean, I know his ankles or anything like that, but they at the Panthers, man, they just fed this dude the rock, fed him the rock. And when you get him to the 49ers, I don't think he'll have that heavy of a load. I really don't.
Well,
I think Kyle, the artist, will paint the right sculpture and picture.
Well, they want to run the ball. You got
for sure.
too. I mean, they have some weapons on offense. So let's not play around. I don't think they didn't make all the moves the Rams did, but it's the same line of thinking. I think we're going all in for this year, next 2 years, whatever. But like for me, for my fantasy team, I think this is great for Deebo Samuel. It takes a little bit of pressure off him. Now they got to focus on somebody else because I think that's why Deebo's been a little bit slow to start. That's why you're watching Brandon Ayuk just ball every game. Because all the attention's on Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk's getting a lot of one-on-one matchups, and Jimmy G's been able to find that and expose that. That's a great call with George Kittle, too. I love the tandem of Kittle and McCaffrey, which you'll see both of them in the backfield at the same time, whether it's Kittle in the hip, working the split zone with the slip off the play action, McCaffrey going the other way. It's a lot of lateral problems that the Niners give you defensively, and both those guys can really run. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're enjoying this content. If you do, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We put out content all the time from all a variety of sports all over the globe. So make sure you keep checking us out and let us help you win the water cooler.